Imagine yourself as a master strategist, silently controlling everything around you without ever drawing attention. Imagine every action, every word, carefully planned, not to win just one battle, but to secure total domination in the long game. That's the world of Ayanokoji Kiyotaka, a student who operates under the radar while manipulating every outcome in his favor. How does he do it? What's his secret? Today we'll explore how Ayanokoji embodies the principles laid out in The 48 Laws of Power, a playbook on mastering control and influence, not just over others but over life itself. What would it take to think and act like Ayanokoji? By the end of this video, you'll have the answer. And trust me, it's not about being smarter or stronger, it's about playing the game differently, just like Ayanokoji does. Law 1. Never outshine the master. Ayanokoji is the perfect embodiment of this law. He deliberately plays down his talents, allowing others to believe they are smarter or better than him. He never seeks the limelight, never tries to outshine those in authority, and it works to his advantage every time. His teachers and classmates all see him as average, maybe even weak. But what they don't realize is that this is a strategy to keep others from feeling threatened. By hiding his true capabilities, he avoids unnecessary conflict and lets others expose their weaknesses. Think of how Ayanokoji interacts with Horikita. She's intelligent and ambitious, but also blinded by her own need to stand out. Ayanokoji helps her succeed but never takes credit, making her dependent on him without even realizing it. In real life, the lesson is clear. When you outshine those in positions of power, you make enemies. But if you play the role of the supportive figure, those in power will rely on you without feeling the need to compete. Law 3. Conceal your intentions. If there's one thing that defines Ayanokoji, it's his ability to conceal his true motives. His classmates, even those closest to him, never know what he's really after. He often pretends to go along with their plans, lets them think they're leading, while he's pulling the strings in the background. Ayanokoji never reveals his cards until the game is already over. He makes it impossible for others to anticipate his next move, which gives him a tremendous advantage. Consider his interactions with characters like Ichinose or Kushida. They both believe they have Ayanokoji figured out, that they can manipulate him or use him for their own goals. But in reality, he's the one quietly guiding them toward the outcomes he desires. By concealing his intentions, he turns their plans into his victories. In life, revealing too much of your thoughts or plans gives others the opportunity to undermine you. Like Ayanokoji, keep your true intentions hidden until the moment to strike is perfect. Law 6. Court attention at all costs, but through subtlety. While Ayanokoji doesn't seek attention in the traditional sense, his actions make him impossible to ignore. His brilliance lies in creating an air of mystery around himself. He never directly courts attention, but people can't help but notice the results of his strategic maneuvers. In a world where people are constantly shouting for recognition, Ayanokoji's quiet confidence makes him stand out more than any boastful show of strength. Think about how his classmates, despite knowing little about him, start to wonder who he really is. They talk about him behind his back, try to figure him out, and this curiosity gives him a certain allure. His silence speaks louder than words ever could. In real life, you don't have to scream for attention to make an impact. Sometimes, letting others wonder about you, allowing them to create their own narrative, is far more powerful than trying to control every aspect of how you're perceived. Law 15. Crush your enemy totally. Ayanokoji never leaves loose ends. When he faces an enemy, he doesn't just defeat them, he dismantles them completely. A great example is his rivalry with Ryuen. Ryuen underestimates Ayanokoji at first, believing him to be just another weak, passive student. But when Ayanokoji finally decides to act, he doesn't just win. He crushes Ryuen's influence, his reputation, and any chance of recovery. Ayanokoji understands that if you leave an enemy even slightly capable of retaliating, they'll come back stronger and more dangerous. In your own life, think about those moments when you've let things slide, when you've given someone the opportunity to recover after they've wronged you. The lesson here is simple. If you truly want to be in control, you can't leave room for a comeback. Law 17. Keep others in suspended terror. Cultivate an air of unpredictability. One of Ayanokoji's greatest strengths is his unpredictability. No one ever knows what he's thinking or what he'll do next. He keeps his classmates, his rivals, even his allies constantly guessing. This unpredictability makes it impossible for anyone to form a coherent strategy against him. People naturally fear what they can't predict or understand, and Ayanokoji exploits this to his advantage. By never allowing people to see the full picture, he keeps them on edge, always in a state of uncertainty. In the world of power, being unpredictable forces others to react to you, giving you control over every situation. In your own life, if you want to hold power over others, don't let them figure you out completely. Keep them off balance, always wondering what your next move might be. Law 35. Master the art of timing. Patience is one of Ayanokoji's strongest traits. He never rushes into action. Instead, he waits, carefully observing the situation, letting others make mistakes while he prepares for the perfect moment to strike. Whether it's waiting for Ryuin to overextend himself or allowing Horikita to struggle before offering a solution, Ayanokoji's timing is always impeccable. He understands that sometimes the greatest power comes from not acting immediately, but from biding your time until the circumstances align in your favor. This law teaches us that knowing when to act is just as important as knowing what to do. Acting too soon or too late can be disastrous, but when you master timing, you become unstoppable. Law 48. Assume formlessness. In the end, what makes Ayanokoji truly unbeatable is his ability to adapt. He never commits to one form or strategy. He changes depending on the situation, shifting from passive to aggressive, from cooperative to manipulative, all without ever revealing his true self. His formlessness makes him impossible to predict and even harder to defeat. Like water, he takes the shape of whatever container he's put in, flowing through every obstacle in his path. In life, the ability to adapt is what keeps you ahead. The world is constantly changing, and those who cling to one identity or approach will be left behind.